Caltrop is an area denial weapon designed to stop the enemy. The Caltrop is a sturdy, simple, yet effective weapon no matter its position. Its purpose was originally designed to stop elephant and donkey attacks. It graduated to stopping tanks. And now, the Caltrop is your defense against propaganda, polished lies, and manufactured outrage. It's free from counterfeit credibility and synthetic truth. However, inside the walls of the Caltrop, you're going to be forced to think. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Mike Caldarise is the Caltrop.
Good evening and welcome everybody to the Caltrop. I am your host, Michael Caldarise. We are your defense mechanism from everything that is false credibility and fake and lies and storytelling and not fun, because we have a very good time here and we have got a packed show for you tonight. Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate everybody dealing with Monday. And what's funny? I got so much feedback about that. It's like, oh, Valentino is so cute. He's so cute. If I gave him 6 ounces, that kid can eat. Let me just tell you that. So we thought we scheduled it to where my wife could nurse and then go. And then he ate for a very long time off of both sides. I gave him 4 ounces. If I think I gave him 6, I think he would have stayed, gave us about another 15 minutes. But I thank Rudy for dealing with that. He was always a great guest. And thank you guys for doing it. And hey, you are, I told you, from the very beginning, you are coming. This is personal with us. We are family. If you're here every week, like a lot of you guys are, day after day, and you've supported me for years and years and years, this is a family type thing, and you are going to watch him grow here. I'm not going anywhere. This is going to be a family legacy. Hopefully, that was his first time on this show, and we could go back there where we're doing the Caltrop 15, 20 years later, maybe, where he's taking over it. You never know what's going to happen. And we could go back to that. So thank you guys for dealing with that with me. But listen, we do have a great show for you tonight. A great show, because there's honestly 2 shows worth of stuff to talk about. So we're gonna kick it back to some news that's on Monday that came out that everyone's still talking about, and that's Tulsi Gabbard came out against Obama. We obviously have that. We have the whole theme tonight is going to be mob government, because I'm also going to tell you a local story. You guys all know about the brick breakdown that I do. So some things happen locally that I tell you these stories, and I'm going to show you some local fights that are going on all over my area with a bunch of different people. I'm going to be highlighting local, and we have one local Cali story. People are starting to fight back, and they're starting to realize that if they say things out loud and they put it on camera and they get these people and they get their faces out in the open, you get a lot of results. So I want to tell you about something that's going on locally with me personally that I did over the weekend. And I think you're going to be appalled at that story when I tell you that as well. And we also have, hey guys, it's true. Guess what? Lee Zeldin came out, what do they call? I can't think of it right now. The weather, all the people that control the weather over there, all the scientists that tell you that they know exactly what's going to happen with the weather. Lee Zeldin came out and said, hey, guess what? We're going to tell you everything we know about weather modification. And it's interesting. Stay tuned for this. They admitted, but they didn't admit that chemtrails exist. Yeah, stay tuned for that. But let's start the show off with the mic's right. Shut the fuck up and listen. All right, everybody. Tonight we're going to the fucking mattresses. I'm telling you that right now. I am fired up on all cylinders. It's like, have you ever watched a mob movie where a guy walks into the back room and says, the boss wants to know if he's loyal or if he's going to end up in the trunk? The hell with it. Put him in the fucking bedroom. You ever see that? You ever see these mob movies? They always have the same theme. And it's exactly what our government looks like now on every single level, local and federal. However, all you see is nationwide, so let's discuss that. Tulsi Gabbard, who somehow went from Democrat darling to political hit woman, just referred Barack Obama to the DOJ. Yes, Trump's DOJ, for allegedly cooking up fake intel on Trump. Now, let's get this out of the way right now. I don't believe for 1 second that old Barry is going to get charged. I mean, come on. If Obama saw the inside of a courtroom, it'd be because he was delivering a Netflix speech about unity or some random sexual encounter, but I digress. What's funny is watching the left, though, now cling to Trump's immunity case like they're clinging to the side of the wood on the Titanic when they're just wait there. You had enough room on that bitch, I tell you that right now. They're like, oh, no, you can't charge him. He was president. He was acting within the scope of his duties. It's like, yeah, scope of his duties are lying and spying and staging coups. Yeah, it sounds like it's very official stuff. But the mental gymnastics that they are doing is so intense that Simone Biles just tore an ACL watching it. But I have an idea, and I want to throw it by you. And it was a good friend of mine called me up, and it was his idea. His name's Charlie. Let's talk RICO. Because this isn't just politics anymore. This is legit organized crime. This is the Sopranos minus the meatballs. I mean, you've got bribery, blackmail, threats, espionage, election interference, burner phones, fucking hammers, fake names, offshore accounts, and bodies mysteriously dropping like they know too much about Clinton's calendars. Oops, I drowned in Obama's backyard. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. Hell, if you replace Democrat strategists with the word capo, I mean, CNN would basically be running a mafia family tree. RICO laws were made to take down the mob. Is DC much different? Look how DC works. You cross the family, suddenly you got 87 indictments. Fuck you, pay me. You say the wrong thing, they audit you, cancel you, or find something on your laptop. Fuck you, pay me. You ask too many questions, you get concrete slippers faster, then you can say Epstein was definitely murdered. Fuck you, pay me. And speaking of Epstein, isn't the timing of all this just beautiful? I mean, 1 minute you're hearing Trump's the pedophile from the Maniacs. He's a pedophile. I'm telling you, he's on the list. It's all him. He's the only one on it. That's why it's not coming out. To, hey, look over there. Here comes Obama's fabricated evidence. How convenient. These people treat scandals like commercials. It's great. It's like, we'll be right back right after this distraction. And we all know Obama did this. Let's face facts. It should be investigated. The timing shouldn't matter. It should just be signed, or it should be just the signed, clear documentation that of Obama basically saying, hey, guys, make shit up on him. I don't care. Fuck this guy. I hate orange people. And let me be clear, as Obama would say. I hope Trump goes scorched earth. I hope he comes back with legal flamethrowers and drags every corrupt suit in a skirt in D.C. into court. I want them all to sit in a holding cell, hugging their knees, praying the soap stays glued to their palms, while clenching their ass to the point where it sticks together permanently. You wanted war. You wanted lawfare. You wanted to make up crimes and raid homes, smell panties, and then leak it to the press. Cool. Then buckle up and get ready to be RICO'd like a 2-bit fucking street crew. I want subpoenas flying like candy out of a parade float. And I'm no lawyer. Hell, I have Facebook arguments overruled by fact checkers. But RICO laws seem perfect for this, doesn't it? I mean, criminal enterprise, check. Multiple conspirators, check. Coordinated attacks, definitely check. Attempts to destroy rivals, silence witnesses, and rig systems, check, check, check. How many more do you need? Bro, this isn't a government. It's like the 5 families. And guess what? We've watched all 10 episodes of this shit. The real question is, are we watching one big mob or two rival crime syndicates at war? I mean, you've got the Obama-Clinton cartel on one side, polished, calculating, always smiling with a knife behind their backs while people drown. Then you've got the Trump and his ragtag crew, loud, unpredictable, and somehow still breathing after every single ambush, and there's been a lot. But it's not red versus blue anymore. It's Gambinos versus Genovese's. And we're the poor suckers just trying to keep our businesses open without getting shaken down by the IRS. But hey, if they're going to treat politics like organized crime, then maybe it's time we start prosecuting it like it's organized crime. Because I've had it with the two-tier justice system where the mafia wears the flag pin and hides behind democracy. If there's going to be fire, it's time we start bringing flamethrowers, not matches. And we don't need no water. Let that, put it in the chat. But that's the mic right. Mike's right. I hope that you listened. All right. So as you can tell, I am fired up today. There's multiple reasons for that I am fired up. But guys, let me tell you something. I do see a mafia every single where I go. Every single place that I go, I see a mafia, whether it's local, whether it's federal. It's the Trump mob, because let's face facts, that's a mob too. Say what you want to say. That's definitely a mob. You have the Biden mob. You have the Obama mob. You have mobs everywhere. So I don't know if it's, like I said, I'm trying to figure out, you put it in the chat. Tell me if it's one giant family or if it's multiple families. You think it's, families of Chicago versus New York. It seems like it, doesn't it? With Rahm Emanuel in Chicago style politics. Then you got your New York style politics, your Cali style politics, where you approve shit all over the streets and putting affordable housing up where houses just burnt down. Very amusing, I'll tell you that much. Very amusing. Well, let's get to the chat really quick. I see the boat. He's not the first one, but he's the first one I see here because he says fucking hammers. They got hammers. They be doing the hammer and they got the bleach bit. Man, they be doing Indian burns and shit. I love it. I absolutely love it. Who's the first one in the chat? Every time I get to that part, it deletes. Of course, Yankee 68 says hump day. Happy hump day. I always thought hump day meant hump your wife day. And then I got married. So then I had my third kid, and I don't think I'm going to have a hump day ever again in my life. Jay Calda, what's up, Jay Calda? Love it that you're in there. Obviously, the boat's there. Mama Dukes, and we have Center Cut Media. Big E McD, my man, Big E McD. We have to have him on, and he's got to tell us all about his mission trip to Peru. Maybe we'll have him on Friday. Let me know if you could do that in the chat. And we have my man, Jersey Abe 69. Me and Jersey Abe 69 are going through some stuff. Let me address that really quick. Let's say a couple things about that, because I can say a couple things about that. I'm just going to say this right now because many of you guys watched it. You guys watched this all take place when my last episode, my last time on the show that shall not be named with the people that shall not be named. But it decided to keep going, just so you know. So after the last time that I updated everybody that we were in family court and the just got resoundingly dismissed. It decided to, I just want to let you know that we had about, 25 lawyer letters coming to my house before anything even happened because everybody messed up. But I had about 25 lawyer letters coming to my house, scaring the shit out of my wife. And it's hysterical that the saga of this thing is continuing in the courts. So stay tuned because we're going to get to that. And it's going to be very interesting because, let's just say that things I did at Wall and things that we did when I went there with the pitcher, I think it's going to be surprising. It's going to be surprising. Let's see what happens. It's all so riveting. I cannot imagine how this is going to end up. It's going to be very, very fun. But that is what's going on. By the way, there is definitely a mole. There's a mole. Hey, listen, hey, Moley. I know you're there. I'm going to figure out who you are, okay? There's somebody running back talking about all my posts, so I love it. I love you. You're my favorite person. Speaking of moles, let me get into this local politics thing really quick. And I have a bunch on this. I have a lot of videos that I want you to hear. A bunch of different people that are, like I said, are actually fighting back, and it's really awesome to see. And I hope I got all of them in there. This new system, it kind of messes it up, but because like I said, I have no idea where any of these are. They're not labeled. I have not figured out how to move them around the way I need to move them around. But obviously, I had Chris Pollock on the show the other day. He's fighting for Jackson, New Jersey. Howell's doing their thing. We have a lot of towns that are starting to rise up. So really quickly, I'll give you just a quick skinny of it. On Saturday or Friday or Saturday last week sometime, the beauty of the brick breakdown anymore. And if you guys ever want to email me or message me, you can message me on Facebook. I do get the messages, or you can email me at mikec@centercutmedia.com. And listen, I have the wrong banner up. Look at that. Look at I am such a rookie. There we go. There's the right banner. So mikec@centercutmedia.com. Please go ahead. Feel free to email me anything. But when I started the brick breakdown, let me tell you something. People started following me, and now people tell me everything. And the craziest part is I have like wives message me, hey, my husband's dealing with this and that and the whole 9 yards. And I have such a big pool of people that are telling me things. So I got a lot of information on our Department of Public Works, the DPW, and none of it was good. It was, rats this big and cockroaches in the workplace, and the AC was messed up. But what I learned about the AC was they were just hiding the remotes from the kids. You know what I'm talking about? You guys know what I'm talking about. So there's a couple things people have clarified with me, but that was just random people. That wasn't the administration. But from what I understand, because of so many people that have been talking to me, the administration is running around trying to find out who their mole is. That's what I've been told. And to me, it's just very interesting that they didn't approach me and say, Mike, let's talk about all the things that you saw. Let me fact check you. Let me do all these things. They haven't done that. What they have done, from what I understand, is had meetings about this. They are apparently going to increase the potholes. They're going to have people in on Saturdays, 2 trucks on Saturdays to fix the potholes. And they're trying their hardest to figure out who the mole is that's leaking their dirty laundry. Listen, I'm going to speak directly to the Brick administration right now. Brick administration, instead of trying to figure out who told on you about all the bad things you're doing, why don't we have a discussion? Why don't you come on the show and have a discussion about all the bad things you're doing? You wouldn't be so mad at people if it wasn't true. So if there's anything out there that I said that is absolutely not true, then come on and tell and talk to me about it. Or if it is true, come on and talk to me about it, and we will have all the solutions for you. I will try to help out in any way to come up with solutions to all the problems that we had. But it doesn't seem like you're interested in that. It seems like you're going after and trying to intimidate people even further into not talking to me, when that was the main component. That was the main complaint, that people feel like they can't say anything or speak up about problems. It's very interesting that my town decided to go the mob route. It's very interesting that my town right now is working like the Mafia, like the Mafia I just spoke about. Who's a rat? Who's the fucking rat in this piece of shit that's talking to this fucking guy Caldarise, and he's out there running his fucking mouth on us? Who is it? Who is it? You better find that piece of shit, and I want him gone. That's not my words. That's direct quotes from the administration. I'm just kidding. That wasn't a direct quote. Whoever the mole is, it wasn't a direct quote. But I went to the mattresses. I'm hearing stories about people working for the government on government assistance. How can you work for the government and be on government assistance when you've been working there for 10 years and you're very important to the job? How does that work? How does that even work out? I don't understand it. You have certain, and you know what? I said something like this on one of the shows that I was doing, and it kind of triggered me. The Democrats, they scream that they want equality. Oh, we have to have equality. There's no reason why there's billionaires and millionaires and all this stuff. Well, if you really want equality, Democrats, then why don't you have equality in government? Why is it that the Democrats in New Jersey let the Department of Public Works pay stay down here while they allowed other people's pay to just skyrocket? Why is it that the government's able to pick winners and losers depending on who they like and whose union they like? Why is that? Why is it that a local cop is making $160,000 a year when a guy that's been here for 10 years is making 60 or below? Why? How does that work out in a Democrat area, in a Democrat New Jersey, with Democrat leadership who claim that they want equality? You tell me in the chat how that works out. Because you're not even practicing it in your own government. You want us to adopt what Zofram, Mama Bami, or whatever the hell you want to call him, Mama Bami the commie? You want us to adopt that type of government? Meanwhile, you don't even employ it in the governments that you control. No. Somehow there's always winners and losers. Somehow you always have people making money and not making money. You always have the haves and the have-nots. And it's taking place inside our government. But people want to sit there and complain about business. You know, at least businesses provided some type of service to get the money that where they could have some type of clear distinction over the other. But is the cop more important than the guy fixing the cop car? If the cop can't do his work because he doesn't have anybody to fix his car, how much are you wasting in that cop, in that officer? It's the way that we run our government is absolutely insane. And the bottom line is, even in my own government, when I exposed their issues, their problems, their workplace issues, and I said it on the Brick Breakdown, if I was to tell you about, if you would hear this on like Fox News, tonight on Fox News, we have rats, cockroaches in the break room, deplorable working conditions, broken down trucks, and ambulances breaking down as people die inside tonight at 8. That would be the biggest story on the planet if it was a company, a very big, large company. But because this is going on, probably in your town, in a town near you, no one talks about it. And when you do talk about it, they'd rather go after the people who may have said something to me. And I guess, and let me tell you something, one other thing, Brick. You're on the wrong path. You're on the wrong path. I know who you think it is. It's not. Seriously. I mean, I know a lot of people in this town. Wives tell me things, just so you're clear. Friends of friends tell me things. People who aren't working, people who are retired. Just saying, this has gotten to a point where it's out of control. And your way of controlling it was to attack the people that you think were behind it. Instead of coming to me and saying, you know what, Brick, we have problems. But why don't we take advantage of the fact that this guy brought light to it, and now it's out there. Damn it, let's fix it. No, doesn't seem like we did that. It looks like we're going to throw some asphalt in the potholes and hope it goes away. Ain't going away. Just saying. Let's see what you guys think of this. Jersey Abe says they puss just like their leader. That is no bullshit. Big E McD says, doesn't matter who's in office. No one tells the truth. Obama, Biden, Trump, they all say perfect things to get your vote. I 100% agree with you. Free the homies. Free the homies if you want. Let me put that up there. Jersey Abe says it, so let's put it up there. If you want to get your Free the Homies t-shirt, let me know. We do need to free the homies. I don't know how much they are. We'll figure out how much they are. But if you want a Free the Homies t-shirt, please email me at mikec@centercutmedia.com, and we will 100% be able to get some of the Free the Homies t-shirts out there. What's wrong with the Oompa Loompa? They're blue, I guess. I don't like blue people. The boats is not surprising to us on the West Coast. Jersey mobsters going to be Jersey mobsters outside or inside the government. Hey, so I'm looking at you, looking at me, fucking looking at you. Don't talk about nobody from Jersey. I don't give a shit. I don't care who you are. Big E McD gives me $10 with no comment, but he says Miller Lite and Mountain Dew is the best. I guess I have to take his $10 and go try that. Miller Lite and Mountain Dew. I think it's going to be disgusting. And A Caldarise, welcome A Caldarise. He goes, you're not easy to find. Well, if I don't know. All you have to do is remember your password, buddy. You have to, and they have a little thing called change your password. I actually just had to do that. But hey, if you have anything as far as one of the things I am going to say to everybody, and let me play a couple local stuff before I get into the nationwide stuff and before I really start even commenting on a lot of this stuff. We have a bunch of things going on locally right now, especially with businesses buying up houses in the area. But one of the things that I have noticed is just these videos and just us getting involved in it, and it's select people that are making these things and are catching fire. if it does anything to you, it should make you look at this and say, you know what, we need to join some of these people, and we need to speak out ourselves, because it can go somewhere if you do it the right way. And once you do it the right way, it's amazing how fast that these people respond, because typically nobody's there to make them look bad. They can act however they want to act. No one's there to make them look bad. And sometimes you got to go to the mattresses. You saw, and we had him on the show the other day. This is 1 minute of my man, Chris Pollock.
Single-family homes, which are the backbone of this town, are being bought up by out-of-town corporate investors. They're swooping in with cash offers. They're outbidding families who actually want to live here. And it's not just a housing issue. It's actually a community crisis. The next generation is being priced out of home ownership. The American dream is being stolen right here in Jackson. And while all this happens, we got a council president profiting from real estate while refusing to take real action to protect our neighborhoods. That's not leadership. That's a conflict of interest. There's a lot of conflicts of interest with this council. You don't fix this with photo ops or public spin. You fix it with law backed by president and the guts to act before it's politically safe. So keep taking shots at me, but next time say my name out loud, Chris Pollock. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not afraid of any of you, and I'm not done. There's so much more to do. There's so many more problems to fix, and I'm going to keep pushing you to take action and do the right thing for the people of this town.
So and I wanted to play that because I wanted to show you this. This is a guy that goes to these meetings, and it doesn't matter, honestly, if you stay the entire time or you don't. You need to go there and talk, because the bottom line is, a lot of the times what they're saying is nothing. They're reading to you, accept all the shit we're shoving up your ass. Here you go. But this is a guy that went there, and he's running for councilman, right? But this is what you get back. And this is what's very interesting, because he's one human being. And you hear all the time, hey, what are you going to do? You're not going to change anything. You're not going to change anything. Well, you know what you can do? You get these fuckers backpedaling. And once you start moving them, once you get them moving, then you can keep pushing. But they've had us moving back for years and years and years. It's time to stop them in their tracks, at least. Put our cleats in the damn ground, put your hand in the ground, and stop them. But this is the Jackson Township's council. Listen to how powerful you could be just by speaking up. An open letter from Jackson Township Council President Jennifer L. Kuhn, I think it is, in response to a resident's comments at the 2025 meetings. And she called him out by name. And I'm not going to read you the whole thing, but I'm going to read you relevant parts, and then I have an interesting thing I would like to do. Mr. Pollock, at last night's meeting, you pointed your finger in our faces and demanded, not asked, but demanded that we address you by name while we read from your prepared statement. You come to council meetings for a total of maybe 6 minutes and use this time to publicly attack and bash the governing body. You do not allow for dialogue. And it's funny because these people never want dialogue either. They're doing this to appease everybody. You claim there's serious issues in the town, that yet not one email has been sent to us from you or any member of this council. I personally checked, and there are no messages, no concerns, no outreach. So why should he outreach to you? Isn't that your job? I'm gonna toss it out there. Isn't this the government's job? You see this guy? Have you called him? Have you tried to say, hey, listen, what you're saying about me is not right. Let's have a public meeting about this. Let's get out there. But they say, so instead of dramatic speeches and misleading videos, try to show up, stay for a conversation, and working with us. This is the path to real change in Jackson. I have a better idea. And I would love it, honestly, if I could get Chris and some people on Jackson and some of the council. Come on, I will moderate. I think that would be phenomenal. And let's see what you guys have to say. I think that would be riveting TV. You have a citizen going up against the council, against all the council's BS, and there's plenty of it. If you live in the area, you know there is plenty of it. But I wanted to bring that up because this is what just speaking up can really do for you. And you have to get involved. I don't care in any town that you that you live in. I don't care if you've lived there for a really long time. You have to get involved in your politics and just go there and watch. And you're going to see things that are absolutely, going to blow your mind. And I'm going to play like 40 seconds of this guy. This is out in California.
I just wanted where you don't have the First Amendment, but that's something we have here, where we have the right to freedom of speech. And I just wanted to say something too It's true. You guys don't have a First Amendment. You don't have respect for civil liberties or rights. But that's, okay, I'm speaking. Thank you. So anyways, the point I'd like to make here is a couple things. One, these people here are, passionately talking about ICE agents coming into their communities and you don't know their identities. Well, we really don't know the identities of any of the illegal aliens who've been invading our country for the past 60 years. Yeah, how about when you see the farm worker, is that going to be like the same farm worker that murdered Molly Tibbetts? Yeah, how do you know when the Honduran fruit seller is out there, how do you know he didn't rape one of the women who came up here? According to the Univision study done in 2015, 80% of women who come to this country are trafficked and raped. Think about that. How do we know they're not one of those rapists? How about
So they start screaming for a little bit. It goes on for about a month. But do you hear that? I love that. If that guy, any illegals, I mean, you keep talking about not the identity of the ICE agents. I love this. I love people talking back. I love people speaking up. And, it's one of these things where I'm watching it happen in my own life. I'm watching them respond. And I'm watching people go, yo, man, you better get cameras and put cameras up in your house. This is where it's going. Because we're dealing with a mob. We're dealing with mob tactics. And it's happening locally, it's happening federally, it doesn't matter. And we allow it to happen when we join the mob without even any initiation process or any benefits to it. But we're all part of some type of mob. It's very, very interesting to watch. But let's get into a couple things. Once again, I'm not going to waste a lot of time with this Tulsi Obama stuff. You're going to have people saying one thing on the one side, you're going to have people saying another thing on the other side. Oh, she's skewing it to mean this or they're mean this, blah, blah. Here's the bottom line. Nothing's happening. So I'm not wasting my time with a lot of bullshit distractions. And this to me is a real bullshit distraction. But it was good enough to talk about in the context of the mob. Because this is really what it is. This is all mob play, mob gamesmanship. And there's no way in fuck that Obama is ever going to jail over this. I don't care what anybody says. They're trying to change the narrative off of Epstein because that was an absolute horrific outcome with this. All right. So let's get into weather modification. And it's absolutely true. Actually, let's play a little bumper here, right? Where's the in-depth breakdowns? There we go.
In-depth breakdowns.
Sorry. Yankee 68 says, I'm in Lakewood. There's no way I'm going into that meeting. Yeah, I don't blame you. Anthony Caldarise says, say my name. The boat says, ha ha ha, fucking love it. Nailed it. Gotta love it. And Big Amy D says the Yankees will go all the way this year. No, they won't. They suck. But hey, guys, guess what? It's true. All the things that we've been speaking about and chemtrails and contrails and him trails and her trails, it's apparently all true. And let's start off with Lee Zeldin, because Lee Zeldin came out and he did a lot of talking about this. And I want to cue you up with this. Weather modification is real. Yes, it is happening. They're finally admitting it. Now, what is this? 57 conspiracy theorists, 0 non-conspiracy theorists. At this point, if you don't believe in all the conspiracies, I think you're a dumb fuck at this point. I'm about to flip on a couple different things. I may even go to the damn world's flat in a second. No, I'm not that retarded, but let's go here.
Concerned Americans have urgent and important questions about geoengineering and contrails. The American public deserves and expects honesty and transparency from their government when seeking answers. But for years, people who asked questions in good faith were dismissed, even vilified by the media and their own government. That era is over. The Trump EPA is committed to total transparency. As a result, I tasked my team at EPA to compile a list of everything we know about contrails and geoengineering for the purpose of releasing it to you now publicly. In other words, I want you to know everything I know about these topics and without any exception. Instead of simply dismissing these questions and concerns as baseless conspiracies, we're meeting them head on. We did the legwork, looked at the science, consulted agency experts, and pulled in relevant outside information to put these online resources together. Everything we know about contrails to solar geoengineering will be in there. That means anyone who reads through this information will know as much about these topics as I do as EPA administrator. To anyone who's ever looked up to the streaks in the sky and asked, what the heck is going on? Or seen headlines about private actors and even governments looking to blot out the sun in the name of stopping global warming? We've endeavored to answer all of your questions at the links on your screen. In fact, EPA shares many of the same concerns when it comes to potential threats to human health and the environment, especially from solar geoengineering activities. The enthusiasm for experiments that would pump pollutants into the high atmosphere has set off alarm bells here at the Trump EPA. Prior to now, EPA has never been this proactive to raise awareness about concerns with geoengineering and to stop this activity from being scaled up. This is what it looks like when government actually listens to the will of the people and doesn't try to squash it. You can always trust this administration and this EPA to take your concerns seriously, answer your questions honestly, and carry out the will of voters with integrity.
Sorry I tortured you for 3 minutes with that, but I wanted you to hear every single word of it. And I got to tell you something. The first time I read off a teleprompter was off this little tiny phone screen, and I did a better job with that. He should have. Come on, Lee, you got to practice that shit. You should have read that a couple times. I get it. It was 3 minutes long. I do 6 to 8 minutes, but it's okay. You sounded like you were reading off of the teleprompter. He reminded me of that lawyer when he was like, Mr. Tip Dan. But let's get to actually what they talked about. And listen, it's tough to go through all of their stuff, so I definitely rely on some journalists to do this. This is John Fleetwood. John Fleetwood has several things about this, and from what I could see early on, he is very correct in everything he has been doing. So I'm going to show you what he found that was going on. The EPA's new move follows the revelation that Rainmaker, the drone-based cloud seeding startup backed by Peter Thiel's elite fellowship, had active government clearance to deploy weather modification chemicals over Texas just days before the historic July 2025 floods killed more than 60 people. If you remember, I told you that they were cloud seeding in those areas. I found it on OSHA, and I also told you that they were cloud seeding 2 days before that happened. So this was confirmed by Lee Zeldin's EPA. This is the second one. The FAA, the NASA, and NOAA have officially admitted, listen to this, they admitted that jets emit substances that linger in the sky and alter the weather. So it's interesting what they're trying to tell you. They're trying to tell you that there's a difference between chemtrails and contrails. Oh, well, there's chemtrails where we're spraying stuff, but there's contrails where we're not spraying stuff. Well, it turns out what they're trying to do is separate the two, but the two are really the exact same argument. For years, people have been saying these are chemtrails because they stay in the sky and they linger. And then they affect the temperature, they affect the weather, and they affect the rain and everything else. Well, they say, oh, no, well, it's not actively that we're doing it, but it's true that it's doing it. Now, this one. Now, to be clear, the government isn't calling these chemtrails. It's titled contrails research. They refer to them as contrails because what they describe in this document is functionally the same thing that people like me have been reporting on for years. And he goes on to say this: jets spraying substances that linger in the sky and alter the weather and affect temperature on Earth, whether intentional or not. This is an admission of widespread atmospheric manipulation dressed up as a side effect rather than a deliberate operation. He also says, according to the government document itself, there are two types of persistent contrails that can last for hours or days. This is one of them. Persistent non-spreading contrails. These contrails remain visible and retain their linear features for hours to days. The document explains that they form in ice-saturated regions of the atmosphere and are likely to be more impactful than short-lived contrails. The agency even admitted that they are easily identified from the ground and satellites as being formed from aviation activity. Okay, so I don't know where this other one is because they're kind of out of order. So, yeah, sorry, there's persistent contrails, right? So is this one, let me see, is this one persistent contrails? Yeah, according to the document, these persistent contrails have significant net warming impact on the global climate. In fact, their contribution to heating on the planet is par with the cumulative CO2 emissions from all aviation since the dawn of jet times. So this is what they're saying, and this is what's interesting about it, because they don't just come out and say, hey, guys, yeah, you were right. They come out and say, yeah, you're right, but you're not really right, but you're kind of sort of right, but maybe you're not almost right, but you are totally fucking right. I don't know why they can't just come out and say it. Yankee 68 says, I want fucking blue skies, damn it. People have no public speaking skills anymore. They have no public speaking skills anymore at all. Boondock Guy says, yo, man. Give me, what is that? I want to do some Ric Flair. Woo! Do it back for me. Woo! Let's do it. Let's get it on. I love this. But think about this. Right now, what they're telling you is, yes, we admit that jets cause, warming. Now, what's going to come of this? If you ask me, I've been making this argument for a very long time. For everybody that's new, awesome. You're going to hear this for the very first time. Is warming bad for us or good for us, or what is it? What's the optimal temperature of the planet? Nobody can answer this question for me. What is the optimal temperature of Earth? What are we going for? How do we know that warming this planet's not going to be better for us? How do we know that putting more CO2, which is a life giver, is it better for us? With the amount of geoengineering that we have going on in China, China is trying to regreen their deserts. That's why they're trying to make it rain. They're planting specific plants in the deserts. Believe it or not, those type of countries are one of the main reasons why the Earth is actually greening. Another reason, guess what? CO2, because plants grow bigger and better and produce more fruit and more food when there's higher CO2 levels. That's a little secret that the climate change maniacs never want to tell you. But this is just yet another. Listen, we know they're modifying the weather. And you can't tell me that if they're admitting right now that the jets, just jet flight with the regular ass jet fuel, whatever mixture pops out of them, creates this problem, and they confirm this, you're telling me they can't make all these things happen? If they know that a simple ass jet does that, what if they do now put a real chemtrail? Because they're going to tell you right now, hey guys, look up, what you're seeing is normal. So that means get ready for a whole shitload more of them. Because if you ask me, they have figured this stuff out on how to make it rain. I don't think they've figured out how to control it. That's the problem. That's what you're seeing in this. Because there's a lot of stuff that they don't understand, comes to fruition with every single weatherman that you watch on a day-to-day basis. Big Amy D says, Boondock Guy finally chose to show up. I agree with you. He says, I like my sweet baby Earth and nice 65 degrees and a tuxedo t-shirt because it says formal, but it also says I like to party. So put what you think about that in the chat. To me, man, I've told you guys the truth on this from absolute Jump Street. Once again, I don't bring you any type of bullshit on this. These things are real. They're coming to you. They're well documented. And anybody telling you that, oh, yeah, we can control the weather, but we can't control the weather, but we really can, but not that far, but just a little bit. We can only make it rain just this tiny little bit. No. And the problem is Rainmaker going to be really facing any type of investigation about maybe, just maybe, did anything go wrong there? I hope someone's not just going to put this little dude with a mullet out and say, hey, go ahead, tell them your little story and make it sound like we can't make this much rain. I don't know, because I heard the Japanese or the Chinese, one of them, put up a bunch of drones. They didn't have much material, but they turned it into smoke, and it made a lot of rain, way over what they claim they could make in Rainmaker. So it's just very, very interesting. Let's get to a couple more of these guys because we have some funny ones. Coca-Cola, at Trump's request, is going to switch over to make cane sugar. And I have my parents in here with me, and we watched this on Fox News this morning, where Lawrence Jones said something hysterical. Let's get to that in a second. But I look at the TV and say, fuck these people. Everyone's celebrating Coca-Cola. Why were you if it's all of a sudden such the best thing to do, where you should be doing this with cane sugar, and you've been already making this for other countries because other countries realized that it was safer, why have you been feeding this garbage to us? Why are we celebrating this country poisoning us for how many years when they could have just been doing it this way for the whole time? Hey, guess what? Your product was poisoning everybody. Don't worry. Just switch. And everything's okay. Sound familiar, vaccines? So it's amazing how this works, right? Hey, by the way, we let you poison everybody forever. Now just do me a favor, because we're in here now. Stop poisoning everybody. Okay, can you do that for us? Even though you've been doing it forever, and Coca-Cola's history used to have real Coke in it. You can't make this shit up. And the best thing that was said about this entire thing is Lawrence Jones. Here's he at the end.
Social that is exciting everyone. If you've ever been to Mexico, you've been to the UK, you've had a Coca-Cola, they taste a little sweeter, they taste really good. That's coming to America. He's going to make Coca-Cola better again.
So this is what the president said. I've been speaking to Coca-Cola about using real cane sugar and Coke in the United States, and they have agreed to do so. I'd like to thank all of those in authority at Coca-Cola. This will be a very good move by them. You'll see. It's just better.
Is this Maha? Is this like Maha friendly?
Yeah.
I mean, because it's sugar is sugar. They do want you to stay away from sugar. They don't really embrace Coca-Cola as a health drink.
Well, it's better than the high fructose corn syrup that they're using now.
The syrup is terrible.
The corn industry is not happy about this, but the sugar industry is, and this is, I guess, just pure natural sugar cane.
But what about the diet? What about the diet? Will it be in the diet?
No, there's no sugar in the diet drink. But Coca-Cola he loves. He has the button on the Oval Office.
That's right.
The Resolute desk has that little button.
But I love Mexican Coke. It's so good. I try to avoid soda.
We just want that sampled.
Right.
Right. I mean, I'm just a little worried about.
Is that really actually true? I love Mexican Coke. I know.
I was like, what do you mean?
I just Lawrence Jones, he likes Mexican Coke. So
I didn't even think of that.
I did.
Okay. I love
save your career.
Thank you, Brian. You're a good wingman. Okay, so I love Mexican Coca-Cola.
Thank you.
Okay.
Did you see Brian's face where he said that? He's like, oh shit, that's gonna be everywhere, man. That's gonna be on YouTube. I love Mexican Coke. Yes, I love it, man. Listen, I think, how many of us want to try the original Coke recipe? You know, have you ever watched that Moonshiners where they try to go back and they make recipes from the past? Has anybody tried to make the original Coke recipe with Coke in it? Let me know in the chat. Oh man, but that's great. You gotta love comments like that. Oh man, where do we want to go from here? Let's see. We want to do a little bit of Trump. Let's play a couple things with Trump and a couple things. I think I have some things that made me laugh. Oh, this one was funny. This is Barack Obama giving advice to every young man needs one of these in his life.
I had a gay professor in college at a time when openly gay folks still weren't out of line, who became one of my favorite professors. You need that to show empathy and kindness. And by the way, you need that person in your friend group so that if you then have a boy who's gay or non-binary or whatever, they have somebody that they can go, okay, I'm not alone in this. Yeah. Right.
I don't even know where to start with that. You know, it's interesting. A heroin user will always bring up heroin, right? Someone who smokes weed will come up all the time. You know, if you happen to be gay all the time, gay's on your mind, and you're gonna bring up gay like that. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've never had like a gay mentor or a gay like friend like that growing up. I mean, I had like people that were gay growing up with, but I don't know if I ever looked up to one like, hey, you know what I need to find me? I need to find me a gay I can learn from. It was, trust me, that was never a thought in my brain. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying I never needed a gay in my life. And I really don't even understand where he was coming from. They made a lot of that was him and Michelle. They would look very weird sitting across the table from each other. They came in, it was with her brother, who looks like a weirdo himself. To me, that's like one giant, absolute weirdo situation that's over there. Let's play this guy. This is AI. He's making a prediction right here. An AI takeover. What do you think?
One job that will be here in 10 years, and I will show you a robot that's already doing it. Go to Boston Dynamics YouTube channel and tell me that they don't already have a robot to replace anything that you have to say. And then there's this amazing Instagram page I've been following for the last 4 years. Every time somebody says, oh, well, what about a roofer? Bro, a roofing robot was invented 2 years ago. On top of the roof, it will remove the shingles and install new shingles all as it's going over top of the roof. It's already happening. So people are like, oh, roofers, landscapers. Okay, cool. Let's look at the transportation industry. 7 million people work in the transportation industry. Uber drivers, truck drivers, logistical people. All of those people, 7 million people, are they going to be around in 5 years?
What do you think? To me, I think that guy has no idea about roofing because, hey, listen, it's not just about taking shingles off and putting shingles back on. Okay? Who picks the fucking shingles up and puts them into the dumpster? You're going to have another robot for that? You're going to have a whole team, $400,000 robots running around? Is this what we're going to be doing? Now I'm going to be repairing the robot like people are repairing their lawnmowers? What happens when you know the plywood starts getting damaged? You're gonna have a robot for that as well. Every little last detail to this roof to put the underlayment on. Who's gonna set the robot up? Someone like that to me doesn't understand it. Now I get it. They're in industries that can be taken over by robots, but I'm telling you, there's a robot's gonna come on my job and quit. Be like, fuck this, dude. I'm not doing this mason shit. You want to talk masonry? There's not a robot on this planet that wants to do masonry. Trust me. And there's not a robot on this planet that wants to be a plumber crawling under houses. All of a sudden, robots are going to be scared of spiders and shit. You're going to watch like, no, I'm not going under there. That spider's huge. Come on. Knock it off. Let's everybody stop joking around. This was interesting. Everybody was losing their mind over this. Apparently, there's new Butler video. It's funny. We still have no idea. We have no idea about who this shooter is. And is this a conspiracy theory that is legit? I want you to watch this. It's kind of circled. They do give it to you, but it looks like a guy grabs the video guys and brings them over so they can get a really good shot here. Check out this video.
President's been shot.
No. All right, so the president's down.
Either that or
the president's
down. We don't know. Either that or they're covering him.
Now watch out of your left-hand turn. Watch out of your left-hand side.
We love you. We love
you. Now he definitely brought these guys in. I mean, they are in a perfect position to take the shot.
No shot.
I mean, this video is definitely very, very, very interesting.
Who did it? It could just be his ear. It could just be his ear. He's walking.
I'm going to be honest with you. If from what I understand, that video is real. That is not an AI video. A lot of people say, do you think he staged somebody shooting him in the ear? I don't know if there was that good of a shooter that could shoot him, or what did they do? Cut him like it was WWE? Were we watching a WWE event to drum up a lot of support for him? I don't know. I've said this to you guys a lot. I don't put that past anybody being able to pull that type of thing off. I don't. Now, I don't think so. I'm going to be honest. I don't think that was staged like that. Now, that guy going and getting the camera guys, he could have done that for a lot of different reasons. You know, if Trump is dead laying on the ground and they're involved with it, that's where my brain goes. Everyone went to, oh, it's all staged. They got the perfect picture. But what if they were trying to get the picture of Trump bleeding face down on the ground? That's the picture that they wanted. Let's face facts. The only CNN didn't love Trump. That's the only one that they went to. I find that insane. That's the only one that they live streamed was that one. You think they did it at a Trump's request because he was all of a sudden going to fake being shot in the head? I don't see that. What I see that is whoever that guy was, they need to investigate him. That's my thoughts. Why did you bring the camera crew there? Who you working for? I don't know, but you be the judge. You decide who really was it. Was it Trump staging it, or they really try to kill him? I'm going to go ahead and say that they really, really, really tried to kill him. Boondock Guy says the sex robot revolution will be wild times. Have you seen these sex robot? Or they're calling them companion bots. Yeah, pretty soon. Listen, women, you better get your shit together, and I mean really fast, because you want to talk about getting outmoded. You are going to get destroyed by these robots that can cook, clean, and get turned off. That is the perfect woman. AI is about to create a man's dream, a robot that he could put in a closet and shut up when and you know some guy's gonna go in the fucking bedroom. Yes, master. If I had to create a bot, she'd look exactly like Jeannie. Yeah, for my dream of Jeannie, definitely my sex robot will be I dream of Jeannie. But tell me that's not the guy's best friend. Tell me that's not a bot that every single guy dreams of. That's the ideal woman. Right? Sex, she doesn't talk back. I don't know. To me, I think that would be boring as hell. I like my wife when she has a little fire to her. And let me tell you something. I worked hard to put that mouth into her. My wife wouldn't say anything at first. I want her to kind of start yelling back. That way I can say, shut up. Just kidding. I don't know if we played this last week, but let's play this again because I love it. Record. Yeah, that's ICE just kicking the shit out of people on a bridge. I love it. Let's just roll with that. Let's leave with that image in your head because that's about to happen to some of these people in a legal way. A Caldarise says, "I want a robot to clean my house. I'm going to name her Rosie." I have a feeling that robot will again. I think that robot would quit very, 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 very fast. It would be packing its bags really fast. Boondock Guy says the Jetsons. Jersey F says, I'll date again when they have female robots. Jay Calder says, as long as they cannot talk, I am in on the robot. Barbara Eden. Damn right, Barbara Eden. I think Barbara Eden's in the top 5 of the most hottest chicks on the planet. I had this. It's probably not going to come up very good. I think, let's see if I even had it. No, I didn't include it in there. It was a picture of 3 different women doing the same view where they were looking down at tits. It was a very interesting one, but it was like a time lapse thing with 3 different women there. But anything else that we want to talk about here? I don't think we do. I think we covered basically everything on the show. I'd like to thank you guys for joining me today. Listen, man, I've had an incredible week. I have had an incredible week. It has been it's been one of those weeks where, you know, you get, I'm not saying rejuvenated, but I got to tell you guys, the response that I've been getting, especially since I did this video and I stuck up for these DPW guys. When I said that I was getting messages from wives, one message was incredible. And she said to me, Mike, I started crying listening to you talk because you were talking about my life, you know? And I got, I don't know, 20, 30 different messages like, hey, really, thank you very much. I just joined. Thank you for what you're doing for these guys. Well, then I got a bunch of messages. Thank you, all over the place. And honestly, I want to thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for giving a shit about what I'm doing. Thank you for being here. Every single one of you guys, thank you for being here. I really mean that. You know, coming from another, whatever the fuck I did for the last year and a half and getting myself involved with that fucking whatever. Exactly. Whatever is very accurate for that. But you guys being here and everybody in my local community supporting what I'm doing. And we really are, like I said, growing a family and doing this right. I really appreciate every single one of you guys, from Mama Dukes to Jersey A, Boondock Guy, Big E McD, A Caldarise, Yankee 68, man. You are the best. The Boat, Jay Cal, everybody that's in the chat, everybody that are in the comments on Facebook. I got to figure out a way to get them on Facebook. Everybody listening, nobody listening to me on YouTube. I really appreciate every single one of you guys. Listen, once again, I've said this to you before, and I'll say it again. You could be a Caltrop. Be a Caltrop in your own life with everything, whether it be relationships, whether it be with politics, whether it be with a car salesman. If you are prepared and you have the information and you have the mental defense for the horse shit that is being thrown at you, then I'm telling you, you're going to be able to navigate the sea of brown and all the brown waves that are coming at you. You're going to be able to navigate. Thank you very much, guys. Really appreciate you. The Caltrop is out. Later.